Wait, before you go anywhere, this is a picture of my new puppy. His name's Aussie, and there's going to be some more footage of him sprinkled throughout the video, so make sure you stick around. And while I have your attention, don't forget to absolutely decimate that subscribe button. Okay, on with the video. The first thing I did this week was add trees and rocks to the tile map. Next, I started working on a moose. I was a little concerned with its shape at first, but I think it turned out pretty good in the end. Okay, so here you can see I added the moose into the game, or the test area, I guess. At first I thought, oh boy, these guys look big, but then I remembered, moose are big, so, and they're roughly, I mean, I wanted them to be about twice as tall as the deer, and they are, with the antlers, so I think they look pretty good, proportional wise. Again, they are kind of big, and in the actual game I'll probably hide them behind a tree or something like that, or a few trees or a bush. But yeah, no, I think for the most part they look pretty good in the game, so I'm happy with that. Okay, so now you can see I've got the game loaded up in Unity. I've got basic movement stuff implemented. The camera follows the player can move around, all that stuff. So I'll go ahead and run the game so you can see that. Alright, so again, we have the player. He can walk around. He can actually walk anywhere right now. I don't have collision set up. That's on my to-do list. Actually, let me check Trello right now. That's actually one of the next things I'm going to do. I'm going to make one of the new animals first, and then I'll do collision. Probably not this week. Maybe this week. I don't know. I guess you'll find out later in the video, but I don't know right now. Today's Wednesday. Well, technically it's 1:30 in the morning on Thursday, but whatever. So yeah, I got him moving. He walks around. Another thing I did, actually, is I got him to, like, you can see he, like, walks behind this tree here. But, like, this tree, he actually walks in front of. So that's actually the footage that you saw before, where I was moving these sprites to the background. So yeah, that's that working there. You can see, I mean, obviously, he can go through because the entire thing's not in the background. But that's okay, because he won't be able to go into the grass in the actual game. So that's good. That's pretty much all that there is so far. Again, not a lot. I do want to mention that I have followed a YouTuber's tutorial. His name is Games Plus James. Very good YouTuber. I will probably link to his tutorial in the description that I used. You should know that a lot of, not a lot, but some of the stuff in there is outdated. So just be careful if you start using that. And then I want to show you one more thing that I kind of got from his tutorial. So you could see the camera just followed the player normally. I actually have something called do lerp, and I'm not going to explain what lerp is in this video because that's a whole nother topic. But you can see the effect. You see how the camera kind of like went over to the player when it started instead of just immediately snapping onto him. And then you can see kind of as the player moves, it takes the camera a little bit to catch up. So that's kind of what lerping is. I have that turned off by default because I feel like, whoa, I feel like with this game, I don't really want it, and it might interfere with some of the movement stuff I have planned down the road. But I do still have it in the game, so here you can see what it looks like with that turned off. So this is more how I want it to look, I think. It's up, I mean, that could change in the future. The reason I still have the code for it, I actually don't have Visual Studio pulled up, whatever. But this is all implemented in the code to do lerping and everything with the camera. The reason I have that is I want it to be, when you take a picture of one of the animals, basically all it's going to be is you click on the animal, or maybe you click on your camera and then you click on the animal to make it be like you're taking a picture of the animal. I haven't really worked that out yet. But then the camera will like lerp over to the animal. I think that would be kind of a cool effect. And then take the picture with the animal centered. Yeah, but that's all I have so far in Unity. Okay, so I'm back in Unity. I actually did some code and I was going to do like a time lapse of the coding. But I had to use a lockdown browser for one of my classes. And because of that, it like canceled the thing that I used to record, and I didn't realize that, so I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So I'm just going to show you like the final product of what I was able to code. So again, this is all movement code. I didn't change anything else. But you can see now he moves one entire square each time I press the keyboard, and no more and no less. So that will help keep him aligned to the grid. You can see I can also hold down the keys. The one thing I didn't do though is he can still go in the grass and he can still go in the water. So I think that next time, well maybe next week, maybe later this week, I don't really know. I'll have to check and see if there's a pathway in the direction that he wants to go, and then I'll update it like that. While working on the movement and collision detection code in Unity, I quickly realized that all of the path sprites would have to be reworked in order to properly align with the grid and to detect the edges better. This took me a while, but I think it was a necessary change. Okay, it's almost 2:30 in the morning, and I think I'm going crazy, but I think I got it to work. So again, like I said, I had to like redo the entire path on the texture map. That took like an hour, hour and a half, so that sucked. And then when I imported it into Unity, it still wasn't working. I think it was because of a floating point error. I didn't really investigate that much, but I kind of changed how I'm storing the player's position in the code, and then that finally fixed it. But I've been at this for quite some time, as you can tell by the fact that it's almost 2:30 in the morning. But you can see he walks right in the middle of the path now, which is good. I'm pressing left, he's not going left. I'm pressing up, he's not going up. You know, left, down. So it works exactly how I want it to work. Obviously, I need animations and that kind of stuff. And then I need like this should be like there should be the dock up there. I haven't done that. I haven't done any of the bridge stuff, so that's another thing I'll need to do. I don't know how much of this is visible in the time lapse, but there were tiles that I'm just straight up missing, like this one, so I'll have to make a few more assets. So it's possible I'll do that tomorrow morning or late afternoon before I start editing this week's video. So yeah. Okay, so I finished up patching everything together successfully, you'll notice quite a big difference in the area that I'm standing in. It used to be like that big open area of path. I actually got rid of that. If I go to tile, it's probably easier to see. Yeah, so I got rid of that area right here. Basically, my reasoning behind that was that having a big open area would have this path file. It'd be huge. Like I did the numbers and the amount of combinations I'd need. It would just be way too big just to justify that small little area here. So I kind of changed my exact model. I just realized I need to fill that in. Of how I want the paths to look. And I might redo all of this. I'm planning to add like cabins or something up by the water, so this is probably just temporary anyway. But yeah, I'm planning to redo all of that. Well, I already have redone all of it. I missed a lot of these, what the heck. But yeah, I still haven't done the bridges yet, as you can see, so that's next up on my list. But at least this way, I only needed 16 of them. I sat in bed until 3 a.m. last night, figuring out the math of how many tiles I would need if I did it this way versus the other way. And the other way, I stopped counting after like 50, but this way I only need like 16, so that's good. So yeah, this is what it looks like now. Again, if we come over to Unity, it works really well. It's gonna have to resave that file I just edited. So yeah, you can see I'm pressing up and down, I don't go out of bounds. I can go all 4 directions on this path. Hopefully, if I did everything right, I won't walk off the edge up here. Nope. So, yep. After sleeping on it, I realized that the water would have to be redone too. So here's some footage of that, along with the footage of the new bridge tiles. Okay, so I finished up the bridge and the water. You can see here's the dock. So it looks very nice. I can't fall off the sides, which is good. You also probably saw in that time lapse I was trying out every combination of how the dock is going to connect to each other. And for the most part, I think I got all the lines to work out, so it looks pretty good regardless of how it's connected. So, awesome. And that's it for this week. At the end of the week, I cleaned up some scenery, so here's footage of that. I wanted to get some more animals this week, but I got carried away a bit with the coding. But next week I should have at least 2 more animals. Thank you guys so much for the support you've shown over the last few weeks. It really means a lot. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next week.